Hey guys, it's Isabel Palinghug, and this is my naturalistic observation project for psychology. For this project, I went to downtown Summerlin, and I went to observe people in their natural state without interfering at all. So many of you guys may ask, what is naturalistic observation? So basically, this is a method used by psychologists to study behavior in real-world environments. So instead of experimenting or asking questions, researchers choose to watch and record what happens in people's natural environment, and this is done without any interference or manipulation of any kind. And this is a way to see genuine human reaction and to see what happens when no one realizes they're being watched. So basically, of course, I did not interfere with any of the people at the mall during this time, and this is the data or observation I wrote down while observing. Okay, so at the mall that day, it wasn't too busy as it usually is because I did it after school on a Monday, November 6, 2025. So during this time, I wrote detailed notes about what I observed and to make sure I did not talk or anything during this time. So first, I saw a mother in her 40s with two young kids. They're around maybe 8 or 6 years old. She was carrying several shopping bags and she looked kind of stressed as her kids ran around. She seemed kind of frustrated, and then at the end, she was patient, but she did discipline them. And next, I saw young couples in their 20s all eating together. They're at Zaba's, the place next to where I was sitting, and they're outside eating together. They were comfortable and happy, and they seemed pretty chill. Next, I saw a girl sitting alone, going through her phone. She sat behind me the whole time I was there, and she was there when I arrived, and she was there when I left. And I believe she was probably waiting for someone or waiting to get picked up, cause I don't know why else she would be there, unless she was just enjoying her time there by herself. And next, I did see multiple families. I don't know how to I don't want to specify right now, but I did see many families walking together, couples holding hands. I saw people getting their ears pierced next to me, and they all seemed pretty happy and content. Next, I saw some individuals walking around by themselves. They either looked bored, some seemed kind of distracted, and others appeared focused on whatever they were doing. And for me, this was all kind of exciting because this was a new experience watching people do their own stuff, and I could just really relax and enjoy the moment. Okay, so let's start connecting these into psychological theories. So first, I got Bandura's social learning theory. So one of the biggest things I observed was observational learning, or learning by observing others. So basically, one example of this is the mother and her kids. So basically, the kids were copying their mother's actions, and when she used a firm voice to them, they did quiet down and they imitated her serious facial expressions and how she acted, and they just followed her through the mall afterwards. And next, I did see the daughter and mother in this piercing shop. The daughter was copying how calm the mom was, and I believe that she was just like staying calm throughout the situation, and this shows how seeing how her mom was reacting to this situation calmed down her fear or anxiety with getting a piercing. And this was really interesting to observe, and it showed how people copy human behavior, and especially in children, because I saw many kids throughout this time and they were copying their parents or they were following their parents around. Okay, so next I have Erikson's psychosocial theory. Erikson believes that people go through 8 stages of psychosocial development, and each of these stages focus on different major life conflict. And during my mall observations, I saw the different stages that these people could be going through. So first, I wanted to go through the 8 stages of Erikson's theory, so let's get started. So first is the trust versus mistrust stage, and this is just making sure your child has access to affection and food. Next is the autonomy versus shame doubt stage, and this is when the caregiver gives self-sufficiency while maintaining a secure environment. Stage 3 is initiative versus guilt, and I saw this with the young children with her mother. They were exploring and testing their limits, and they were learning between right and wrong while their mother disciplined them. And stage 4 is industry versus inferiority, and this is when kids are getting praised for their accomplishments, and this is around the ages of elementary school to middle school. Stage 5 is identity versus identity confusion, and I saw this with the young couples at the mall and just the young people in general. This is a stage where people are most likely finding who they are and learning about different things, learning from their past experiences. And next stage is the young adulthood period, which is intimacy versus isolation, and this is when people are learning about their long-term relationships or close friendships. And I saw this also with the couples, and I can kind of assume that the girl behind me, just from her being alone, is in the isolation era, or she's leaning towards isolation because she was there for a pretty long time. I don't want to make a crazy assumption. Okay, so next stage is generativity versus stagnation, and I saw this with the 40 or 50-year-olds, people walking together, and this is a stage where people are either learning or teaching the next generation with parenting or coaching, and this is around the ages of 40 or 50 or just mid-adulthood. So the next stage is integrity versus despair, and this is when people reach their oldest age, and this is when people are thinking about their life accomplishments, if they're happy with what they did in life and everything. And it was interesting seeing all these stages together and trying to apply them to my observations. So the next theory is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's theory explains how humans have different levels of needs, and these go from basic life necessities to self-actualization. So in the mall, you could see these needs in action. So first, at the bottom of the pyramid, there's physiological needs, and this is water, food, shelter, or bare like basic necessities. And this is seen when people are eating at the food court or just shopping for basic clothes like necessities. Next is the safety needs, and this is seen when I'm observing people like doing their job through their store windows. And this is for money, like basically safety is just money, resources, security, anything like that. And this is also seen how when like families stay close together, making sure that they're safe, like making sure the children are safe. The next stage is belonging and love, and this is seen through the couples I observe or the friends laughing together. Next is the esteem need, and this is shown when I saw people walking like with their shopping bags, buying stuff they liked, buying stuff that made them feel confident. So I don't know if I saw this in person, but the last stage is self-actualization, and this is creation, beauty, unity, aesthetics, exploration. It's like when people are finally like at peace with themselves. And this just shows how the mall isn't just shopping, it can help fulfill these different needs of the pyramid, and this was really interesting to see. Okay, so my last like connection to psychology is the reinforcement and behaviorism. Wow. So I saw different examples of reinforcement, and this is of course shown with the parents with the children. So the first example that I saw was of course a mom and her two kids. When she corrected her kids and they listened, she rewarded them with patience and like kindness and a continued attention. So that shows some positive reinforcement. And to contrast, I saw some negative reinforcement when I saw a kid get punished for acting kind of crazy. They got a disapproving look, and I'm pretty sure like I heard the mom like yell about getting timed out or like doing something to them, and that just shows punishment and reinforcement that is discouraging the behavior shown. And this is just showing how you can see different types of reinforcement in different families walking by and different social settings. There's positive and negative reinforcement, and these little everyday moments show how reinforcement helps shape behavior. And this is like important to see outside of a lab in a natural environment. Okay, so let's start reflecting on my observations I made. So what I enjoyed most about this naturalistic observation is the fact that I got to take the time to relax and understand or think about what other people are doing with their lives, like guessing their age and doing all that stuff. I feel like that's important to just like have some empathy with others and just understand and have some like have time to like have sonder or whatever. So in a way, this experiment made me reflect on my own behavior when I'm thinking that like, oh, I'm not getting watched right now. Like after this, I feel like I'm gonna try to be like more like careful and like be more aware what I'm doing in public, because I never know when like who could be watching or what could be like, I don't know, like yeah, and I just like don't really want to have embarrassing moments that people do in their school projects. So yeah. Okay, so if this observation was done in a controlled lab, I feel like people would have definitely acted really different if they knew they were being observed. They probably would be more self-conscious on the things they were doing, and they'd probably behave more formally. And yeah, because I don't think people would like discipline the children in a lab. Like, I don't know, they want to like be more self-conscious and like have a like persona up for others. And I feel like the real world gives authentic data that couldn't have been made in a lab. I feel like the hardest part was just, I guess, like guessing about what people were doing or like guessing about their lives. And I feel like I was trying to like observe and like guess stuff or like guess their emotion and their age and like what they're doing, but like most of the time these people were like walking away fast or like they're too far from me to like fully see or like guess. So I just kind of like had to make the most educational guess I could. And I feel like not interfering was also hard because I feel like it was tempting to just like look at them and like smile, or I don't know, I didn't want them to like know I was looking at them, especially the girl behind me. Like I low-key wanted to see what she was doing, but that would have been like really creepy, and I don't think she would have liked that. Okay, so if I were to do this again, I'd probably go to a park or a cafe instead. Originally, I was actually going to go to the pumpkin patch on Halloween, and I was there actually, and I was taking the pictures and I was like low-key doing it, but then I don't know, my friends told me not to do it, but that would have been really good because I did see a lot of families together like interacting, and I saw like a diverse amount of people and people working. Like I don't know, I feel like it would have been better, and it was really busy that day. Like yeah, like it would have been more interesting to do it on. And overall though, I feel like the mall was a good like choice though, because there's still a lot of people, and like most people, like there's a lot of things that people could have been doing, like getting their ears pierced, eating food, shopping, walking around, like just like enjoying nature. Like yeah, and there's a lot of different age ranges anyway too, and interactions happening. Okay, so that's the end of my video. Yeah.